Welcome to Success Superstars, episode number 222, and my special guest, Jason Well. Jason, welcome.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here. And tell us just a little bit about you and your operation all across Alabama.
Well, we got a big vision, Mark. We want to build the largest JPAR family in the state of Alabama, a Uber collaborative brokerage that supports each other, mentors each other, passes referrals. So we're working on that from the Alabama state line by Tennessee all the way down to the Alabama Gulf Coast.
So whether you call that family, whether you call that community, whether you call that a network, whatever it is, you've got a big vision.
Yeah, I mean, community, tribe, we use all those words, family. It's really important, I think, to build a community that has each other's back. And, we're really big on, the biggest thing we're working on now is this No Agent Left Behind initiative.
Right.
And so what I'm recognizing is that a lot of talented real estate agents or agents with a lot of potential are getting out of the business because they're being left behind at their current brokerage. And so that's a big problem we're looking to solve.
I love it. Now, as you think about that, the market has never been, I don't know the words I want to say, tougher, more challenging. What are some of the things that you're coaching and teaching today that are making a difference in agents' businesses?
Well, I think it starts with mindset, right? So when I'm trying to do, first and foremost, I start with mindset, and making sure that agents are connected to what drives them, connected to what their big why is. So what is something they want to own or experience right now in their life that they're having to say, I can't afford it? Or maybe it's, student debt, or maybe it's a loved one who's going through some medical treatments that are very costly and they're racking up a lot of debt, and you'd love to be able just to wipe that debt slate clean. So I think it starts there. But as it relates to the conversation we're going to have today, what I'm really trying to do is get agents to think differently about obstacles and to start seeing them as opportunities, because that's what they really are.
I love it. See the obstacle as an opportunity. Now, what are you seeing today that's working for agents to generate leads, to drive consistency in their business?
Well, this is, a totally different dialogue than I think the vast majority of real estate agents are having with their broker owner, mentors, coaches, and colleagues, all combined. Is that, you've got agents out there right now that love the current market conditions. They love the adversity because it gives them an opportunity to be problem solvers. And I know a lot of your recent, social media posts have been around problem solving. We just got back from Inman in New York, and I think, it's very, very simple. I think people go to these conferences looking for magic bullets. So this is not earth-shattering news, but I really, the theme that I gathered from Inman was, what problem are you solving? The agents in the audience were challenged to be problem solvers. And I think that is like the most spot on conversation that needs to be permeating through our industry right now.
Yeah, for sure. What do you see from a daily activity perspective? What are the things that are missing if you separated the wildly successful from the ones that want to be wildly successful? What are some of the differences in the daily behaviors?
Yeah, I think it starts with research. I think what makes me an effective trainer and coach is that I'm a student of the industry, and I'm a student of the key players in the industry. And so I'm just always asking people questions like, what are you doing to be successful? What do you think of this market? How's your real estate business doing? What are the top 3 things that separates you from, the rest? And, it starts with research, schedules. These people run their businesses like a business, and their schedule is what keeps them focused and consistently executing dollar productive activities. And it's a love of people. It's a love of talking to people, helping people, and trying to help solve the problems of the day. And so everybody seems to know what the biggest problem of the day is, and that's a lack of inventory. And so this is something we should embrace. And, I hear the majority of the agents I hear on the phone with clients, or when I ask them about this problem, their only solution is let's wait it out. I mean, that's what they're communicating to the public. Just wait it out. And there's a lot of news to that effect right now.
Right.
Markets are starting to slow, right? And so we think things are going to kind of, get a little less, feeding frenzy-ish, for lack of a better term. But the time, we just don't need to wait on things that are happening. Realtors love to talk about the cost of waiting for consumers. What about the cost of waiting for agents? It's a huge cost.
Huge cost. Now, do you see there's a difference between agents who treat their business like a hobby versus agents who treat their business as a business? Is there a difference?
100%. I would say, it's probably exceeds the 80-20 rule, but 80% of real estate agents are hobbyists, right? And that's one issue we seek to solve at JPAR is through our productivity standard, right? So, we feel like at a minimum, agents should be doing 6 to 8 transactions a year, or they're not going to be able to be that problem solver for their clients. Mm-hmm. They're not going to know how to circumvent these obstacles. And, I say this to agents all the time, your business is going to pay you to the extent that you're a problem solver. Money flows in the directions of agents that solve problems, but, your bank account is either going to be a reflection of one or two things. You're either a hobbyist or a specialist, and your income is going to be a direct reflection of that.
Yeah, I love that. Well, as we wrap up, any last words of coaching, last words of wisdom as we approach the spring and summer market?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to solve these problems on a short call like this. So I would encourage people to go to my link. It's deanofhustle.com, and we can do a 30-minute to an hour free coaching call. We can do them as many times as the agent needs to start getting into momentum. I don't charge. I work on referrals only. So if you know of an agent that's at a brokerage that's, floundering or is not finding momentum in this market, refer them to me and I'd be glad to help them. But one thing I really want to teach agents how to do is how to create their own market, how to solve this off market or how to solve this listing inventory shortage by seeking off market opportunities and using tools like RPR. Like, we know RPR is one of the most underutilized tools in the industry. And then there's an awesome tech tool out there that I want everybody to subscribe to, and it's called Forewarn. So essentially, you can bypass more expensive platforms like Cole Realty Resource by using RPR in conjunction with Forewarn, which is an app that helps you find people's addresses, phone numbers, all their personal information. It even gives you like does a criminal background check. So it'll let you know if like these people are like people you want to stay away from or not. So that's my biggest advice right now. Stop being a secret agent. Okay. I see a lot of agents that are going out and showing property and nobody else knows about it but them and their clients. Right. But that's an awesome opportunity, right? To say, hey, I'm going to be in Frisco this Saturday. Got a very specific need in a very specific subdivision. My buyers have to have 4 bedrooms, minimum of 2 bathrooms. They love an open floor plan and they really need a fenced yard. So if I'm describing a home that you're having thoughts of selling, I want you to reach out to me prior to Saturday so that I can preview this home and to make sure it fits the needs of my buyers. I've made that commitment to them that I won't waste their time by showing them a property that doesn't fit their needs. So if I'm describing a home that you're having thoughts of selling, get in touch with me right now, because this could be the easiest sale of your life.
I love that, because I love what you said about creating your own inventory. And that's going to be happening by things like you just mentioned or more conversations. The other thing I loved you said about is, your bank account is equal to the problems you solve.
Yeah.
So I love those two key things I took away from this session with the Dean of Hustle.
My pleasure. So let's work on being a specialist and not a hobbyist. Let's stop waiting on the market to deliver the circumstances or the conditions that, benefit us or make it easy for us to transact business. Because we should embrace these problems, Mark, because they're going to be the key to setting us apart, to making us stand out in the marketplace as the go-to real estate professional.
Yeah, and such a great tip, just the simple idea of posting, hey, I'm going to be showing homes this weekend, and here's the criteria.
Yeah, who do you know? Who do you know?
Who do you know?
There's a lot of people out there elderly people that aren't huge fans of people coming in their home. Some people are private, some people are germaphobes. And so a one-off transaction is really, really powerful. And watch what happens when you connect an off-market seller to your client, your buyer client, and you went above and beyond to find them their dream home in a market where people are desperate for housing.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about referral partner for life. It's going to be insane.
Yeah. It's a distinction that we can all make with just a little extra effort.
Yeah. A little extra effort. And I really look at it this way, Mark. Is it not your fiduciary duty? I mean, if a consumer hires you, Mark Johnson, to help them purchase their next home, and they go, gosh, there's nothing out there right now, Mark, what do we do? And you just go, hey, give it 3 to 6 months. The market's probably going to improve. I mean, what type of service is that? What type of advocacy is that? Yeah. Think about that. I mean, I see agents out there just sitting on their hands when there's so much opportunity.
It's the difference between blaming resources versus being resourceful.
Yeah, excuses or results, right?
Excuses
which
or
one do you want?
results. Get creative. I love just the simple idea you had about the showing post. Well, Jason, with that, Dean of Hustle, appreciate you always coming in and sharing your knowledge, and can't wait to have you back again real soon.
My pleasure, anytime.
There we go. And until we see you again on another episode, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears.